back around 2009, give or take, there was this thing that started happening among a lot of people who started leaving the church because of this one particular issue. What was happening was they started noticing discrepancies between what the Bible actually said and what they were being taught in church. So naturally, this raised questions, and they would go to pastors, friends, family, people they went to church with, trying to get answers. And this really disturbing thing would happen. They would get just a limited number of responses, but the most disturbing one, in my opinion, was this way that people would try to respond. They would try to give them a genuine answer, but the answer they would give would be just this copy and paste sort of response. It was not anything new. There was no new information. It was just blindly regurgitating the same ideas that they'd always heard for some of them their entire lives. It was just this copy and paste response of, okay, this is what I say, this is how I say it, this is how that question is answered. And it was like there was absolutely no thought there. And what was disturbing about it, more than just these people are not thinking about their religion, they're just kind of blindly going through it, is that you could literally go to 50 different people and get one single response, and you would get the exact same response from each and every one of them, and it would be verbatim, word for word, exactly the same from each and every one of them. I mean, to the point that it was creepy. It was downright creepy. You could go to that many people and they would all blindly repeat the exact same word for word response as everybody else that you would go to. And if that doesn't scream, I'm not thinking about my religion, I'm just blindly going through it, I don't know what does. So these people started realizing, my church doesn't have the answers. There are all these inconsistencies. There are these little tiny things that I'm noticing here, there, and everywhere between what I'm told in church and what I'm actually reading in the text that just doesn't match up. There's so many other possible explanations for what's going on that are not being explored. There's so many little details that are being blatantly ignored. And they started leaving organized religion because they realized organized religion doesn't have the answers. And a lot of times organized religion was shunning them, was getting very angry at them, was treating them as if they were evil for simply asking the questions. It was just a very limited number of responses that they would get from people, and it was disturbing. And so these people started getting labeled the religious nuns because they did not have a formal organized church. And a lot of these people ended up losing everybody. Some lost family, some lost friends, some people lost everybody they knew. They had nobody left in their lives afterwards, and they ended up just in their own living room trying to carry on with religious services by themselves because they had nobody else around them who would be accepting of them. And typically after a few years, they would slowly start to find other people who thought like they did and had asked the same questions. But it was a slow process. And even some of those house churches have issues and have broken up and have formed in other places. And So it's not perfect. I mean, it's run by humans, so it's not going to be perfect. But just the fact that they can't talk about their religious beliefs without everybody from all sides, both Christianity and Judaism, family and friends, everybody having a majorly negative response to just them asking the questions is a big problem. It's a major concern, and it was a huge red flag to a lot of these people, which is why they are not formally associated with any formal religion today. And there are people out there who will try to give explanations for why the religious nuns exist, but they've never really hit the nail on the head, because this is coming from someone with an outsider point of view. They don't really get it. But that's why, starting back in 2009-ish, you had this major boom in this group called the Religious Nuns. It's not that they're any less religious. It's not that they're not wanting to go to church services. It's that they're going to be rejected by formal religion. They're going to be hated by everyone around them if they start speaking their point of view. Just because it's different from everybody else. Because people who are deeply entrenched into mainstream religion, especially Christianity, they have this strong tendency to feel threatened by anyone who starts asking questions that they don't really have the answers to, that they've not explored, and that is significantly different from what they've always been told. So a lot of people will put their head in sand. A lot of people will get angry and treat you as if you're wrong for even thinking of this idea that's different. So this is a problem. And within religion, especially Christianity, we need to be more accepting. We need to be kinder, and we need to realize that just because someone has beliefs that are a little bit different does not necessarily mean that they're evil. And that's the way we treat people. When they have a view that's different, we treat them as if they're evil. And if the idea is, if there's nothing wrong with it, why do you treat someone like they're evil? If it's not going to affect their salvation, if it's not going to cause this slippery slope of sin, why treat them as if they're evil? It's a problem, and it's a problem with you and not with them. If that's what you're doing, if you're treating them as if they're horrible people just because they have a different opinion. And so we need to work on that as a society.